Hello and welcome to Toy Polloi 2, and today is an unboxing video and also a bit of a showing some things that I've found out in the wild. In the back there you can see is a box, and this has been sent in by Simon, who's a good friend of the channel and has sent me lots of things over the years. He says this is a Christmas present, so it's a little bit late because I haven't been opening boxes and stuff, so it's a late Christmas present, but we will get onto that in a minute. The other stuff is stuff that I've sort of found in the wild on some eBay purchases that I thought would be fun to go through. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something I did actually find in the wild. I went to a sort of vintage shop, and in there I found this, which is a Mego Pocket Heroes Zod from Superman. You don't see these Pocket Hero figures very often here in the UK, so I had to grab it. Zod is one that I'd been wanting to get for a while. I think I only have Lex Luthor and Batman so far. So adding this was something I really wanted to do. I paid £10 for it, and it actually came with the stand. He's got a few little rubs on him, but overall he's in a really nice condition, so that was a nice thing to find in the wild. And in the same shop I also got another badge for my nerd vest, so let me just grab my nerd vest and I'll quickly show you that. And here is the badge. It was an original R2-D2 badge from Star Wars. I paid £3 for that, and I was very pleased to find that. I like having sort of the vintage badges on my nerd vest, so that was one I just couldn't leave behind. So yeah, a vintage Star Wars badge for £3. It had to go straight on the vest. And then in another charity shop, this was a few weeks later, I found this, which was a complete m.a.s.k condor. It's in reasonable condition. There's a few sort of little problems with the propeller blades not holding in place, but otherwise it's in very good condition, with just sort of minor paint rubs on the figure. And it does indeed come with the windscreen there, which is one thing I find incredibly hard to find. I've got a few of these bikes now, and I've been making my own windshields, as you'll have seen over on Toy Polloi. But I finally got myself an original windshield. This cost me £20, which is probably a bit at the sort of top end of the price for it, but as it was in a charity shop I was happy to pay it, because all of that money goes to the charity. So yeah, I just had to grab that, and that's now a nice complete condor that I have for my collection. Then the other thing I wanted to show you was a while back, Nick from Action Pop Dad very kindly gave me a very beaten up James Bond from Moonraker doll. Both of his knees were broken and he was in a very sorry state, and I'm slowly trying to rebuild him. And I recently on eBay grabbed myself one new part for it. So he's got the costume, he's got the figure, I've already repaired his legs, and I managed to grab one single boot for a vintage Mego Moonraker James Bond figure. I paid £3 for it, which I actually think is pretty good value. So I now need to find the other boot and the other accessories for him, but it's a good start. And with all of these projects, I like to sort of say to people that you do have to be very patient. Finding bits for toys can take a very long time, so just sort of keep hunting and keep searching. And that's a big part of why I find toy collecting fun, is the fact that every once in a while you'll find a piece for a project you're working on. So for now he has one boot, and the hunt will continue for the rest of his accessories. But let's get on and open this box that Simon has sent in. Okay, so what is in this box? It's fairly heavy and it rattles. Normally Simon sends a whole range of things in, and quite often there are sweets as well. So but yeah, let's just open this box and see what he has sent this term. As I say, he said this was a Christmas present. It's a little bit late, it's just in January. It only arrived just after Christmas, but our post has been sort of all over the place. Let's see what he has sent. Oh, right, there's a letter. Let me take that out. The letter says, "Hi Dave, Merry Christmas and wishing you all the success you could hope for in 2023. Please find enclosed a selection of tat which may yield a project or two, plus some goodies for yourself and Mrs. Toy Polloi. Best regards, Simon and Louise from 5 Rounds Rapid Collectibles for the Discerning." Well, thank you, Simon. As I say, I know you always send good stuff, and I can see straight away there's some interesting pieces in here and a whole load of sweets. So let's get on opening and see what is inside this box. Okay, so what have we here? There's a few Action Man bits on the top. We've got the official equipment manual. This looks like a reissue to me. That's from 2006. Then we have a copy of the deep sea diver equipment instructions. There's also a deep sea diver box here. This looks like a reproduction box, so I can go with the instructions there. Always useful for display. Then we have loads of sweets. I can see more sweets. We've got refreshers, we've got lots of refreshers. There's little candy canes, more candy canes. We've got Kit Kat, sort of Father Christmas. There's little chocolate eggs. What more have we got? More chocolate eggs. There's more sweets. I can see more sweets all tucked in the back. Very nice. Thank you, Simon. I do like to sort of snack on things as I'm working. And then I can see more Action Man stuff and pieces. I think I'll take the bigger thing out the back, and then some of these pieces will have to sort of tip out because they're going to fall out anyway. There is this, which is, I'm going to say that's the 50th era Action Man box, but that is a 40th anniversary Action Man inside in a navy outfit. It looks like it's got some additional stickers added to it. I know there's a few places that make sort of extra stickers to stick on these outfits. So yeah, I'm going to say that's a 40th anniversary figure inside a 50th anniversary box. I'll open that up in a minute so we can take a proper look at it. But I think I'm going to tip all of this out because there's loads and loads of other pieces in there, and we'll take a look at them sort of without the box in the way. And here we go. That's what was inside the box. So I'll start with the Action Man. That's definitely a 40th era Action Man, but with sort of 50th era clothes on it and sort of kit bashed as well with other bits. It's really cool. I like the look of that figure. Then we have some of the Star Trek mego figures. Now these are sort of modern megos that they've been producing for the last few years. We've got a couple from the Next Generation. We've got Q and Locutus of Borg, so Captain Picard as Locutus, and then we've got one from Star Trek for the Wrath of Khan. We've actually got Khan there. I really like the Borg version of Picard. Mainly because actually if you sort of look in close at him, it looks like he's completely covered in O-rings. The actual outfit is fairly simple and basic, but I think it was when you first saw Picard as the Borg. But look, he's just got lots and lots of O-rings over his arms and over his legs, and I guess they're sort of sewn on or glued on, but I like the fact that they've used O-rings. It's a very useful thing for fixing toys, and they've actually used it to make this figure here, so that's really cool. So I like those. Then in front of them, if I just put him back, you can see there are a few Zoids. Now I've done a couple of videos with Zoids. These look slightly more modern than the ones I've worked on previously. I think the plastic looks more modern, as do the stickers, but they are indeed Zoids. You wind them up and they start walking and moving. You can see there's even the sort of little pilots in the heads there, so that's pretty cool. This one's a dinosaur. I think most Zoids sort of end up looking like dinosaurs. So we've got that one. We've got a blue one here. Again, looks a lot like a dinosaur. He's got guns on his hands and again walks quite nicely. Do these have little pilots? It looks like they've just got bits in them. Oh look, they've got little sort of missile launchers and stuff like that, and bits that move around to reveal guns. They're always quite detailed, these Zoids. It's amazing that they still make them. I'm surprised with all the sort of the tooling and stuff that goes into making something like this, that they would still make them. But there you go, it's a fairly modern looking Zoid. And then we have this one, which again, more sort of Diplodocus-like with a really long neck. This one's quite cool. When I started sort of winding it up, you can see that the head moves quite a lot. It sort of clicks back and forwards and the mouth opens. I like the fact these are so complicated. I'm definitely going to have a little bit more of a play with these and see what pieces are missing, see if I need to find some parts for them. But they look really quite cool. Then there's a few pieces down here, so let me rearrange my camera. So you can see there are some parts for Action Man, some hats and sort of sailor's hats and a fireman's hat. That's really quite cool. Well, I've never seen that before. I know there is a fireman's outfit for Action Man, but I've never had it, so that looks like the first part to that. Then the most interesting thing, which is something I've never worked on, but a lot of people have asked me to have a look at, which is the field radio. Now this is an electronic radio. There's a little record inside it. You should get a few records with it, and by pressing the button on the front, it plays the record. So let's take a look at this. Got this sort of fake aerial and a little cover there, and if I remember rightly, you take the back off. So we need one battery, one 1.5 volt battery. I'm guessing that's going to be a C size battery. Oh no, it's AA. Look, you can see it's a AA battery. And then inside there is this tiny little record, and it does actually play. It's got grooves on it. So yeah, it'd be fun to have a go to see if we can get that working. I think the original set came with maybe 3 different records, and it says something different on each side. So yeah, but should be fun to see if we can get that working. Maybe I can find the other missing records, but that's going to be quite a fun project to work on. So off to the side as well, there is more chocolate. I didn't show you all of them, but there's more bits of chocolate there, so definitely loads to keep me occupied. So yeah, I do need to say a massive thank you to Simon for sending this over. This is a very kind Christmas present indeed, and I've had great fun opening it, and I'm going to be playing with all of these toys a bit later on. They look like, as I say, some good fun and some good potential projects. So massive thanks for sending those over, and I hope that you guys had a great Christmas and New Year as well. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. I've shown this before, but this happens more often than you would imagine. I'm currently trying to film an unboxing video here on Toy Polloi 2, and Luna has decided that she'd like to come and have a little cuddle, so recording has stopped. Hello Luna, that's really sweet. And yes, I'm now having a nice cuddle. I don't know how long this will last, but you know what, it's worth it. I like having a cuddle with my little cat. Filming can happen at any time.